Greetings from Mountain Delta Missionary Baptist Church. Happy Father's Day. Hope that you're looking forward to a great day. May not be a great day for cooking out, but it will be a great day for you to be able to be in church and to be with your family. And so, anyway, I'm standing outside the education building of our church, and I can't help but think about the men who laid the brick. And we think of anytime you think of a building project, you think of all the work that goes into building that, whether you're building a family, building a house, building a church, or building a business, or building a career. The question often comes to mind, is it worth it? You think about all the work that goes into building anything. It's a lot of sacrifice, and you can't help but ask, is it worth it? And Solomon, and this is one of the things that's so interesting about Solomon. He wasn't exactly the ideal picture of a father, and so, but that's not what makes him such a tremendous value here. He was somebody that God blessed with an amazing amount of wisdom, and vanity is something that he understands. And listen to this Psalms 127. It says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, they that labor in vain." And so what he's pointing out here is the utter hopelessness, utter pointlessness of building something in our own effort, because what's going to happen is somebody else is going to come and receive the blessing of it. Listen to what he says here in Ecclesiastes 2:21. "For there is a man whose labor is with wisdom, knowledge, and skill. Yet he must leave his heritage to a man who has not labored for it. This also is vanity and a great evil." And what he's pointing out, now, I mean, just think, you did all this work to build something, to build a career, to build a life, and when you're gone, somebody else is going to enjoy that blessing. And what he's pointing out, that is so sad. But the concept that you need to get is, it's not about you. It's about the glory of God. And this is why it's so important that God is the one who is doing the building. But then the question comes to mind, if I'm the one laying the brick, how is it that God is the builder? Well, it's a matter of submission. Are you doing this in submission to Him? Or are you doing this on your own effort? Like when Ahaz is trying to defend his kingdom. The way that he goes about it is to establish these alliances with these foreign kings, which is something God did not want him to do. And so it was a useless effort. These foreign alliances that he established, these people betrayed their trust and turned on Ahaz. And so many of the kings, like Josiah, Jehoiakim, all of these folks, they wanted to establish peace with their neighbors. And what they discovered was, well, there is no peace with these people. And this is why Solomon goes on to say in the next verse, he says, "Unless the Lord keeps the city, the watchman stays awake, but in vain." And so our faith has to be in God. He has to be the one who is providing for us and walking us through these things. Now, it may be your hand that laid the brick. It may be your wallet that paid some of the bills. But you have to consider God is the one who has enabled you to do these things. And so this is the lesson that Solomon is making toward us. Ultimately, the question that we have is, how can I be happy? This is why we do these things. This is why we build buildings and we build families, we build careers, because we're looking to these things as a means of security or as a means of some sort of provision. Ultimately, what we're trying to get to is a place of happiness. And Solomon is pointing out, let me read the Psalm here in Psalms 127. He's pointing out, "Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their enemies in the gate." Talking about the man who has put his faith in the Lord, has submitted to the will of God, and God in turn blesses him with growth and with security. In fact, the next psalm really highlights this And this is why these Psalms must be understood in light of each other. He goes on to say in Psalms 128, or a different psalmist does, he says, "Blessed is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. When you eat the labor of your hands, you shall be happy, and it shall be well with you." And so the key to the happiness there, which is what this is all about. We're all after happiness, blessedness in life. And what the psalmists are telling us is the key to that is the Lord and submission to his will, faith in him. And so I hope that you're having a good day. By the way, the key to all of this is the cross. Jesus made it possible for us to receive his grace and his blessing in spite of our flaws. When you think of Solomon and all his flaws, you think, why did God bless him? Well, it's because God is a God of grace, and we are able to receive that grace because of what Jesus did on the cross. Now, that is awesome. I hope you have a blessed day.